one thing I want to fight back against is what I see ongoing, especially from the right. It is a desperate attempt to rewrite what happened last week. Not just from people directly involved, but others affiliated with that movement, wanting you to believe that what happened was a tragic thing got out of control. That's all. That's it. It's not like AOC talks about that the fact that the representatives might have been murdered. No, she's crazy. That's not at all what it was. It was just some good people, and there was someone bad in there that did something bad, and maybe it was probably Antifa anyway. So you don't have to worry about this. This doesn't mean anything. This doesn't represent anything. It's not that bad. And if there's one thing I want to make sure we don't allow to come out of this, it is the rewriting of this as, it was just a protest or whatever, and just a few people died. I can't see how that could happen, but just in case, I want to remind everyone what was really going on there. And a lot of this is going to involve the cops. I mean, we mentioned Eugene Goodman is the name of the cop who is now being credited as potentially saving the lives of multiple lawmakers by, the threat of his own death, leading protest the people who were invading away from the actual Senate chamber. So other cops were being treated like this. Take a look at this photo. This is very rough material. We're gonna show you video in a few seconds as a warning to you. That is a crowd of Trump fans all over the place. People who consider themselves patriots. There's a cop on the ground that they are beating. I don't know for sure. I believe that is the cop, Ryan Sicknick, who ended up dying as a result of this. I don't know for sure. A lot of cops were injured during this, literally dozens. Every one of those Trump fans believes that they respect and love cops as they are beating a cop, potentially to death. A second police officer, by the way, died by suicide on Saturday this week after responding to the attacks last week. I want you to take a look at this video. This is what the crowd was like. This was not, hey, there were some people. This is what it is. That is a crowd of Trump fans beating a cop with the pole that the American flag is hung on. If you want to understand the entire movement, I don't think there's any more perfect encapsulation of it than that. These people love cops and they're trying to kill one. They love the country. They're using its flag to murder someone attempting to defend that country's government. That's what it is. And those people racked up multiple deaths, killed multiple people, but it could have been much worse. And one aspect of this is the fact that there was a very hefty amount of QAnon adherents in there. I want to show you a bit from an appearance by Ben Collins, who does research on radical movements like QAnon, talking about what could have happened.
I think an important thing to understand here is that there were two different kinds of people at this rally. There were Proud Boys, militiamen, oath keepers who stormed to the front with the idea that they would, wreak havoc, cause violence, maybe arrest, maybe kill some lawmakers. That was the point for those people. Other people, if you're in the QAnon world, in that universe, you thought you were going into the Capitol and you were storming it for Donald Trump. You thought you were receiving orders from him once you got inside the Capitol. And that's what was happening with a lot of those QAnon people. They were in there waiting for more orders. The guy with the zip ties, there were posts for weeks beforehand in the QAnon world about arresting these lawmakers and then bringing them to justice on behalf of Donald Trump. And they explicitly talked about zip ties. They were makeshift handcuffs for the lawmakers if they got to the right part of the Capitol. I don't think people understand how close we were here. This was close to a mass casualty event involving members of Congress, and it's incredibly dangerous. That's what people are talking about. In QAnon, there's this thing called the Great Awakening. And in the Great Awakening, all of the lawmakers are arrested, rounded up, and executed in a public forum. And that's what this was to a lot of these people. They thought that this was about to happen.
That's really disturbing to hear.
It is. And I know that there's probably a lot of people out there that still want to believe, even after what happened last week, even after the multiple deaths, the bombs, the Molotov cocktails, the rifles, the zip ties, all of that, they want to believe that all of these people who flooded in there, who keep trying to get you to understand what they believe about the world and what needs to happen, and how much they do believe in that storm, that it's going to come, and that everyone that they hate in politics and Hollywood is going to be rounded up and killed. There are people who still don't want to believe that they really believe it. But these people were chanting "Hang Mike Pence" as they came in. They beat a cop to death. They do believe these things. And so when AOC talks about how many people could have been killed, I believe we should take that 100% seriously.
I mean, I think about whether someone was killed, and whether Ted Cruz, I bet you he would say the exact same thing. I bet you.
A representative, you're saying?
If a representative was killed, if a lawmaker was killed, I bet you the Republican Party and a lot of them would be saying the same thing. In fact, I'm not so sure they wouldn't be gleeful that maybe there were some open seats. We could, retake the House. I'm serious. This is kind of the level of violence and relishing in violence that these lawmakers are dabbling in. And so I've always been someone who did not give a cookie to people like Mitt Romney, for voting to impeach the president in the first round, and like trying to maintain some sort of moral center. Jeff Flake, another one. But now I think even folks on the left, and I think we're all seeing the consequences of this delusional type of Trumpism, and that yes, the Republican Party is sick, but this is absolutely the sickest tumor of it all. Trumpism is the sickest tumor of this party. And it's either gonna take the whole party down, which, hey, go ahead, but it's on you to remake it. But they're not having their government. They're not gonna take over this country. So what's it gonna be? How are we gonna do this going forward? And I absolutely believe there needs to be that wedge driven to say, you gotta let these crazies go. Because again, like Trump, we can say goodbye to Trumpism with Trump, with him. Because I got a spoiler alert. There's no successor to Trump. There's no successor. You think this movement is about anything other than him? No, it's about him. Even Ivanka can't fill those shoes. Ivanka's like, she wants to be like, I don't know, Christine Lagarde and like, go to international meetings. She wants to be like, she's a globalist is what I'm trying to say. No, I'm obviously ironic, but I'm being sarcastic, but like, there is no other movement other than Trump. It's only about him. So, hey, let's throw the bathwater out with the baby, so to speak.
Did you see, speaking of the people trying to fill this, did you see the Representative Lauren Boebert, or however you pronounce it? Do you see the thing about her from Wednesday?
No.
So she's another one of the QAnon supporting ones. She's the one that released the ad of her supposedly carrying a gun in DC, and then it turned out they were lying. She wasn't carrying a gun. She was just pretending to carry a gun to get gun lovers to give her money. Yeah, during the attack, she was tweeting what was happening when they were taken to the secure location. She tweeted it, and then later she tweeted, "Speaker Pelosi has been taken from the secure location." Why are you live tweeting where the speaker is? Why did you do that? Why are you telling them in real time where? And there's a conversation. Is that treason? Why are you letting people know that she's no longer in the secure location? I don't even know how accurate it is, but the attack is still ongoing. They're still in the building. Like it used to be Alex Jones is a crazy person who has a radio show or whatever. Yeah. Yep. It's not even one. They have multiple elected representatives that are every bit as crazy as any one of those people who were attacking the Capitol last week. And they are gleefully trying to get those people to support them even more. And they know the sorts of things they need to say and do to get those people's loyalty. Her and Marjorie Taylor Greene and others too, Madison Cawthorn and all of that, like they are going to be working to convince these crazies that they are their representative. Forget their local constituency. Their constituency is QAnon, and there are millions of adherents across the country. It's still on her Twitter account. Don Latino Heat points out, yeah. And she tweeted at the early in the day, this is 1776. I don't know what these people need to do to convince you what their goal is, what they're trying to accomplish.
John, was she also at the rally saying something like Hitler was right? I believe there was a lawmaker.
I think that was a different person.
Okay.
But yes, someone did say something. It was like a specific thing about Hitler, but it started off with Hitler was right, which don't go in that direction. Except they know their crowd. You got to give them that. You're a person who does stage work. You got to know your crowd. Anyway,
I don't ever want to. I mean, look, go back to that. I just last thing is like, I never want to hear any Republican ever say patriot, Blue Lives Matter, law and order.
Yeah.
None of it. Nope. No. Yeah, that is a flagpole with the American flag, like you said, that just was used to kill a police officer. So no, you don't ever wipe your mouth like that's just eradicate that from your vocabulary. You no longer lay claim to that. And I always feel like, I mean, look, this is the thing. I think extreme patriotism and jingoism always leads to violence. It really does. But I think it's our chance to reclaim some of this BS, like false patriotism from the right wing, just like it's been our chance since Trump got into office to reclaim some of the moral high ground that has been relinquished to the right for so long. We know that Christian conservative BS is now been put on blast. It's nothing but a facade, and it has only been a facade. You don't care about family values or Christian values, right? We know that. So again, it's the ball is in the Democrats' court. We can turn this around, and it does not start by unity, Mr. Joe Biden. It does not.
Yeah. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.